What's up, everybody? This is Nick, and you're listening to the flagship podcast of this little network that we call Pull Up a Chair Network. And I'm joined here once again by my friend and co-host.
Oh, this is Eric.
And Eric, today I'm very excited for our topic.
I can tell.
It is a topic that I grew up with, a topic that this man was almost like family to me. He inspired a lot of great inventions. He drove me to greatness.
Hulk Hogan.
No, this man is none other than MacGyver.
MacGyver? The guy? Mac himself?
The man, Mac.
Mac.
Buddy, that's Angus Mac to you.
Mr. Angus.
Angus MacGyver. I'm not sure what accent.
I'm not sure what you're doing there.
But it was an accent of some kind.
Okay.
Just take my word for it. That was an accent. All right. So we're going to talk about, what do you remember about MacGyver, Eric?
Who?
MacGyver.
Some show. I don't know, 80s. He made stuff.
Did you ever watch it?
Huh? No. What? No. I didn't have time for that. I was too cool for that. I was a cool kid of the 80s, man. I was popping and locking before it was cool.
You know what your problem is, buddy, is you're afraid to admit it. You are a closet MacGyver.
What kid didn't love and practically worship MacGyver?
Did you try to make something out of like a straw
that
you saw on the show?
Yeah, he used a lot of paper clips, of course, the classic duct tape, foil and whatnot.
No, wait a second. That duct tape stuff was actually true.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they created a bunch of things out of it. You can do anything with duct tape.
Do you say duct tape like a duck, like a quack,
duct.
or duct tape?
Duct.
Yeah, okay. I was curious.
Isn't there a brand?
There's a brand called duct tape
duct
because
tape.
people think it's duck. It's duct, like you're
right.
venting ducks.
But the brand is actually duct tape.
One of the brands, yeah, one of the many brands.
That's the most popular brand, right?
I don't know.
How do we get off of it? But let me ask you this. What brand did MacGyver use? Do you know?
He used Angus brand duct tape.
Angus brand duct tape.
He had his own brand.
Did
he have a brand?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
You asked a question like you have an answer, but you don't.
I don't know. I was just asking if you knew.
Okay, first things first. We're talking about a great character, Angus MacGyver. Who played Angus MacGyver?
Well, my friend, that would be none other than Richard Dean Anderson. The man, the myth, the legend.
Also known from on other shows such as Stargate and the whole Stargate series. And he was originally General Hospital he was on. And various other accoutrements of shows. MacGruber. Did you ever watch MacGruber?
I never watched the movie. I watched the skits. And he did show up in a couple of the skits.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
I think I've seen part of the movie MacGruber. Did it not make very good... it was an independent film, which I always appreciate independent films, such as I just watched Laser Team, done out by Rooster Teeth. And then I haven't watched Keanu, which is done by...
well, that's Key and Peele.
Key and Peele. I haven't watched that one, which I do want to watch. I do appreciate the small independent filmmakers. And MacGruber was definitely an independent film. I just really didn't pick up mainstream, gumption, we'll say. But back to where we're going. Richard Dean Anderson and MacGyver himself. What do you remember about MacGyver? The movie, the man, whatever.
The man could solve anything. You give the man a paper clip. And some duct tape.
Yep.
And sir, the man could solve any problem.
Any problem.
Yes.
World hunger.
Well, he could.
He could, guys. That was a trick question.
He could literally feed people off of, you ready for this?
Yes.
Duct tape and paper clips. I saw the man make a great looking steak one episode with duct tape and paper clips.
I mean, I don't want to offend anybody. That's a very biblical thing to do almost.
Well, that was MacGyver.
That was MacGyver.
Blessed by God himself. MacGyver.
Oh God, I mean, God calls him Mac.
Or, as some called him, McGive.
The MacGyver.
The MacGyver.
That sounds like a McDonald's
Character
or something.
The new mascot of McDonald's, the MacGyver.
I was talking to my kids. I'm like, hey guys, do you know who the Hamburglar is or Grimace? And they're like, no. I'm like, we need to go back and watch some old commercials.
Those things were the things of nightmares.
They're amazing. Just saying the word Hamburglar makes you happy.
If you don't watch yourself, this grown adult is going to come steal your hamburger.
Yeah. How's that different than today?
I don't know.
Have you been to
MacGyver? The MacGyver gives it back.
That's right. Have you been to McDonald's?
Not in a while.
Not in a while. So you don't know about the struggles that people at McDonald's have with people just coming and taking hamburgers.
Here was my problem with McDonald's. Something I didn't even understand as a kid. They had that at every McDonald's playground when we were kids. They had that random. It was the hamburger constable guy that always chased Hamburglar, but like you could climb up inside of his mouth or
yeah,
whatever.
and it had little bars.
Yeah,
I thought that was the Hamburglar.
No, that wasn't the Hamburglar. That was like the little constable that was always chasing him. So I mean, this was something I had a problem with.
Why?
I don't know. It just bothered me. I didn't know who this character was. Why didn't they do something cooler? I mean, give me climbing up into Grimace or something like that.
Did it have a hamburger head?
It did.
Yeah, I remember that.
There he is, right there.
That guy. Yeah. He's a Big Mac. It's Big Mac.
He was Big Mac, but then they had Mayor McCheese back there.
Mayor McCheese. Man, you remember these.
I remember him, but I don't remember what the constable's name was. I remember the pirate. I don't remember what his name was. You had the Fry Guys.
Fry Guys?
But I don't remember all these. I don't remember their names. I don't know who the old man is.
That guy?
Yeah.
I don't remember who he is either.
We are getting way off topic.
Okay.
Let's get back to MacGyver.
MacGyver. Yeah, let's go to the MacGyvs.
Okay.
All right. What are we talking about MacGyver today? What are we going to talk about?
Well, buddy, we have much to talk about MacGyver. You mentioned Richard Dean Anderson. What's old Richard Dean up to these days?
I tell you what, I was like, hey, let's go find out what Richard Dean Anderson's up to, what this guy's doing. And so what do? You go to Google, you type in Richard Dean Anderson. That's all I typed in. First thing up, his own personal website. Looked like it was built in the late 90s.
By?
I don't know. Me maybe? I programmed a little bit back then. I might have built this way. I mean, it looks incredibly generic, but I will say this, it is up to date. I was going through his updates. He has one, we're shooting this on the November 8th. His last update was from November 4th and 5th, where he was in Australia at a 2-day event called Return to the Gate event, celebrating the 20th anniversary of Stargate SG-1. First day was in Sydney, and the second day was in Melbourne. The guy's he's a giver. He is MacGyver. And this site is updated quite frequently. I mean, every few days, maybe every week, there's something going on. And you know what? I respect that. It has a great pick at the top of every phase of Richard Dean Anderson's life. Not the newest one. He's a bit older now. How old is Richard Dean Anderson right now?
I don't know.
I know he's almost timeless, but not quite.
No, he is not. He's not of the same level as a Chuck Norris.
No.
He's 67.
He's 67 years old. Wow. Oh, it looks like his years active in acting was 1976, which I'm assuming is his General Hospital years, to 2013. So I guess he's officially not taking any more acting gigs. But typically that doesn't get filled in until they die. But I guess he's not in the mood to put up with those rapscallions. But there is you found a very interesting fact. Speaking of MacGyver, you introduced me to the young MacGyver.
Well, buddy, let me just. There's a lot more we need to get to before we get to Young MacGyver, because Young MacGyver was not. I thought when I first heard Young MacGyver, you would think it would be MacGyver in his younger years.
Yes.
No, he's the nephew of.
Oh, I kind of remember this now.
Of MacGyver. It never made it to air. This was never a show that made it to air.
Okay.
However, you can get online and you can look it up. Young MacGyver is played by none other than Jared Padalecki, who is from Supernatural.
He's a tall one.
He's the
tall brother.
Tall one of the brothers. He's very skinny in this. It took me a second to recognize him, but it was none other than Jared Padalecki. From what I can tell, Young MacGyver, kind of a jerk. Very, very cocky, very sure of himself. Apparently his uncle Angus has been teaching him. Although I don't know if there was ever a backdoor pilot to this thing. If there was ever I need to look that up to see if there was ever an episode where this character was introduced.
Okay.
But that brings us back to MacGyver. MacGyver itself, the show that inspired many things. And let me tell you a little bit about this show. Do you know that this show was made by 3 people? 3 people. You had John Rich, who was working on a show called Mr. Sunshine for ABC, which was a show that was short-lived and canceled. Then you had Lee David Zolotoff, which his last name sounds like a drug of some sort.
I like that guy.
What?
Lee David.
You know him?
Good friends.
Okay.
Good friends.
Well, he was currently the producer on Remington Steele.
Oh, that's a good show.
Was it?
Yeah, Remington Steele. You don't know Remington Steele?
But we'll have to talk about that some other time. We'll have to talk about that. I have seen it.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
I'm going to play dumb on this one.
We should do a western, like an 80s western, 80s westerns and stuff.
Okay.
But Remington Steele is not a western. But that's what made me.
We can come back to that. But then there was a little known actor at the time named Henry Winkler. That
little known at the time in the 80s.
Yeah.
Henry Winkler.
He had just finished off an 11-year run with some show called Happy Days.
Happy what?
And was looking for another project. And so they brought him in on this. The 3 got together and they made this show. Now, they all knew, or they didn't all know, Winkler knew of this young actor that he had seen on a television series called The Love Boat.
Love Boat.
And Winkler got Anderson to audition for the part. According to Rich, every auditioning actor hulked his way through the audition. When Anderson eventually auditioned for the role, Winkler and Rich felt that he gave the character a human touch which the other actors could not. Both believed that Anderson would become one of the new breakout stars on American television. And people, the rest is history.
It is history. So they hulked. Is that what you said?
Hulked, yes.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean? What do they mean by that?
Well, there was that old... I'm guessing. I don't know what that actually means, but I'm guessing that there was that old series...
Okay.
The Hulk.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah. Well, yeah.
And so they just tried to make... I'm guessing they tried to make the character bigger than what he needed to be. Because MacGyver's not so much on the fighting as he is... as he is on using his head, using his brain.
Did you know Lou Ferrigno, who played the Hulk, actually voiced the Hulk for Marvel up until Thor Ragnarok?
Yes, I knew that.
Now Mark Ruffalo voices the Hulk.
That's why Hulk always sounded like he had an inner ear problem.
Well,
because Lou Ferrigno's deaf.
Yeah.
And Hulk sounded like he was deaf. There was a whole scene that they ended up cutting out where Hulk just speaks in sign language.
Whatever. I almost believed you. Your silence gave you away. Like,
I wasn't being serious, but when I saw your face go into this, really? I was like, are you kidding me? No. Sorry.
I know. I think that would be great if the Hulk did some sign language. I think that would be appropriate.
Well, it looked like it would No, I'm not gonna make those jokes. If you've seen Congo, where the
Yes.
ape is, it would look like that. He's very angry, like Hulk sign, Hulk, Hulk best signer there is.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like why are you signing when you can speak? Hulk angry.
Yeah. Look how mad he is. He's just hitting his hands together so hard.
You won't like Hulk when he's angry. And when he gets real angry, the Hulk just signs, and that's when everybody knows that, like, oh boy, he's about to lose it.
When he goes, that's when he goes berserk. All right, back to MacGyver. Man, we keep taking rabbit trails. Yeah, back to either we can talk about MacGyver or we can talk about Jared Padalecki.
Well, we've already.
Lecky.
There wasn't much to talk about young MacGyver. Now, okay, so we had that for. The series was filmed in Southern California for its first 2 seasons, and then it moved to Vancouver, Canada.
I think it had 7 seasons.
Yeah, it had 7 total seasons. For seasons 3 through 6, it was there.
Okay.
So this was the way they shot in different locations. In seasons 1 and 2, MacGyver was living in a waterfront apartment in Venice Beach. In season 3, he moved to a houseboat at
the houseboat. I remember that.
Unspecified location, which most people know. Which, little known fact, and I looked this up earlier, that boat went on to Craigslist.
Oh, really?
A while back, and was sold for $200,000.
What?
So somebody out there has a
MacGyver
houseboat. And let me run through. I found this little article that was 13 facts about MacGyver.
Oh, well, hey, I don't know. Let's pretend I know nothing about MacGyver.
Okay, fact number 1.
Okay.
There was a real MacGyver. Kind of. That's what it says.
There's a real moon.
Lee David Zolotov decided his protagonist would be armed with little more than a Swiss Army knife and a formidable intellect. He stumbled upon a gemologist at Caltech named John Kuvula, who seemed to have experience in everything from physics to chemistry. When MacGyver was ordered by ABC, Kaluva became the show's scientific consultant. Writers would think of a logistic problem, then Kaluva who would come up with MacGyverism or solution. Anything deemed harmful usually omitted a step or two so that people who attempted to recreate the experiment at home wouldn't blow themselves up. So the old rumor, the old myth that some of the things on there were accurate. It was kind of true because they would actually work them out, but in the show they would leave out a step or two so that people couldn't recreate it.
It's like if you fold the duct tape and put the paperclip in this manner, it's a bomb.
Right.
And they do it just a bit off.
Right. See, what you need is to fold the tinfoil slightly more askew. And then it'll become...
And puncture the tinfoil through the duct tape at a right angle.
So the first name of MacGyver, what it is? What's his first name? We discussed this.
I forgot.
Angus.
Angus.
Young MacGyver was Clay.
Okay.
But originally, MacGyver's name was going to be Stacy.
I like that. I met one guy named Stacy in my life. That's it. He was a cool guy too.
Honestly, it was apparently the 7th and final season of MacGyver satisfied fan curiosity by revealing the character's first name, Angus.
I remember this.
In a not very Dickens move, Richard Dean Anderson suggested it because he saw it on a banner in Vancouver. But prior to the show's premiere, Paramount publicity circulated a flyer that credited Anderson as playing Stacy MacGyver. The name was thought to be taken from an earlier version of the pilot script.
Okay. So Richard said, "Oh, hey, someone's selling Angus burgers. I like that name."
That's what I was thinking. It was like, hey, you know what? I had a really good piece of meat the other day. Like, what kind? Angus. Oh, it
Oh.
was Angus. It was delicious. And as you can guess, as we kind of joked earlier, and we apparently weren't far off, his last name was inspired by McDonald's.
What?
MacGyver was inspired by McDonald's.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
He wanted a masculine. Zolotov wanted a masculine sounding name for the character and was intended to simply call him Guy, but friends convinced him that it didn't sound too compelling. So he was going to be Angus Guy. Can you imagine the series just be called Guy?
Guy.
Hey, Guy.
Well, hey, it worked for Doctor Who, didn't it?
So he instead he picked up on the popularity of McDonald's, prompting people to facetiously, sorry, that's the word, add a Mac in front of words. So I suggested we call our hero Mac Guy, Zolotov.
Mac Guys.
Yeah, Mac Guy. But everyone thought it really needed to be 3 syllables. And finally, MacGyver was
born.
Was agreed that would be the one. Another known fact.
Wow.
The pilot was so bad. I love this one. The director had his name removed.
I love that. Don't put my name on this.
Yeah, like I don't want to have anything to do with this. It says here that the MacGyver pilot came in a running time of 90 minutes and it was awful. It was dreary. Rich
90
said.
minutes?
Yeah. It was no good. It was an hour and a half of dreadful.
Oh my.
Over Easter holiday, Rich recut the episode, removing 30 minutes. As a result of perceived meddling, director Gerald Freeman wanted his name taken off. The generic pseudonym Alan Smithy appears in the credits. That was just genius.
Wow, that
90 minutes.
Golly. That's a really long.
It's a long deal.
No joke. I'm trying to find anything else. Would you say Gerald Freeman?
Yes.
That's a pretty normal name, so I don't know if I can find. Oh, let's see here.
Jerrold.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Jerrold. Friedman with the D?
Yes.
Okay, that's a little better. I'm trying
Yeah, there he is. A conversation.
Oh, did you find? Okay. Let's see what else. We'll see what else old Gerald did.
He did some X-Files. Look at that. The O.J. Simpson story.
Back in '95. That was a big deal. I remember that.
As Alan Smithy. The O.J. Simpson story as
Alan Smithy. That must be his if I'm not sure how this is gonna play out.
I wonder if that's how he. I wonder if that's where that came for him. If that's something that he actually ran with after that got put in there.
MacGyver episode 1 is Alan Smithy. See, does he have anything else as Alan Smithy? I don't think he does.
No, that's hilarious though.
I don't see a ton of I
don't see anything I recognize other than click on that O.J. Simpson story. I want to see what that is. It's a TV movie, but that was 95.
Man, when O.J. Simpson all that stuff went down, it was everywhere all the time.
It was.
And that was before the 24-hour news cycle.
It was, or the 15-minute news cycle.
Yeah. Oh
So
my gosh.
we have other facts. I'm going to run through these. Viewers thought the show killed a rhino. There was an episode where MacGyver went up against poachers. They spent $40,000 crafting a fake rhino for a key scene in which the animal was destroyed, and people thought it looked so real that it
an outrage.
It caused an outrage. In fact, it says this: only Richard Dean Anderson was harmed during filming. He accidentally stepped in a ditch and injured his back in the first season, causing a nagging injury that needed surgery 2 years later.
Oh my goodness.
Here's something I found out in my research. Richard Dean Anderson was known for doing his own stunts.
Uh-huh.
And ultimately, it kind of led to... a lot of people think the series went off the air because of...
because what we talked about, the things he would do were real,
Were
and
real.
people were kids
But
were mimicking him.
Richard Dean Anderson has been quoted as saying that it only went off the air because everybody was tired. They were ready to move on.
Okay.
And he said he had no life. He was just exhausted. Which, if you've done your own stunts for all those years, which later seasons they say he started backing off more. But if you've done your own stunts and you're just sore and tired all the time, I don't blame him. Eventually, after 7 seasons, I'd be like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, no joke.
I got nothing left with this character. Which, I mean, I'll be honest. By the end of the 7th season, even as a kid, and I've watched these. I want to say I watched them again on rerun. It was probably back in kind of when we were in college because they'd come in on reruns.
Okay.
And I'd catch them every once in a while. By the end of the show, they were kind of running out of.
It was all played out.
Right.
Jump the shark. Speaking of Winkler.
It was. In fact, there was an episode where he goes back in time. They kind of did the old A Night in King Arthur's Court.
I remember that one. Doesn't he make like explosives?
Yes, he makes explosives.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he ends up in the real world again.
Yeah, something with the suit of armor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that episode.
Let's see. MacGyver couldn't have a girlfriend. That was a rule they had.
Okay. Not bad rule, I guess. I guess keeps him from having a terrorist from kidnapping his lady.
Yeah, I mean, apparently it says, while the show was popular for its clever approach to science, it didn't hurt that Anderson was a former soap opera star and a frequent target of affection for swooning viewers. As a consequence, MacGyver getting romantically involved with a woman in the series was usually met with indignation. When a love interest was introduced for several episodes in the 3rd season, the show's fans voiced their displeasure over the potential of the show turning into moonlighting.
Oh, hey, here's one. I don't know if it's in there.
Okay.
But it's related to that. There are 2 animated characters who are obsessed with MacGyver. Animated characters from a long-running series, one of the longest-running animated series, Simpsons.
Oh.
There's 2 characters on The Simpsons who are obsessed with MacGyver.
Is it Disco Stew?
Disco Stew.
And I don't know who. I'm blanking on the other one. Who would the other one be?
What was it? E.F. Hutton? Is that the top? What is that doctor? No, it's Marge's sisters.
Oh, is it Marge's sisters?
Yeah, they're obsessed with MacGyver. They reference him.
Well, the show actually paid fans to come up with MacGyverisms, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How much would you get for one, I wonder?
Getting MacGyver out of hairy situations using a variety of items within arm's reach was a clever conceit and one that got increasingly difficult to orchestrate as the series continued. At one point, John Rich offered viewers a cash reward if they could submit a scenario for use on the show.
Whoa.
While all incoming letters were read, very few had plausible ideas. One successful entry described a way in which MacGyver could fix a leaking cooling system in a vehicle by cracking an egg into the radiator. As it heated and hardened, it would seal the hole. Sorry. So that people were actually getting paid for their ideas.
Wow. Nowadays they just steal them.
Yes.
Of course, nowadays people will put them. There'd be a website dedicated to it who is actually a front for the writers for the show. That's what would happen nowadays. Or it'd go on Reddit.
Now, here's a question, Eric. Trick question.
Oh, trick me.
Did MacGyver use a weapon? Did he use a gun?
I don't have any recollection of him ever using a gun.
He did twice.
2 times. Cheater, pumpkin eater.
In a 7-year run, he used it twice. I do remember one of these. In the pilot episode, Anderson, who didn't like guns either, is seen shooting an automatic weapon. In a later season, MacGyver used a gun, smashed out the barrel, and used the remaining pieces as a makeshift hand wrench. So
I mean, is that really using a gun, though?
It's using a gun. It's using a gun for its intended purpose.
As a wrench.
As a wrench, yes.
Is that like, so if I run to your car and start tearing things, like ripping parts of your car, like out of your engine, am I using your car?
I don't know.
We could try it out. It's like, hey, a hose. Take that. I'm using your car. Hey, can I use your car later?
No, I'd rather not.
Okay.
No, you cannot use my wrench. I got a 2000 key a wrench that you might be interested in?
Hold on. The scene where he's using the gun, isn't that in the opening scene?
Well, yeah, I mean it was used in that opening scene.
Okay, that's what I can remember. I remember, hey, he has a gun in that scene. Where is that episode at? I never saw that episode.
I think that may have been part of the 30 minutes that were cut out of the
pilot.
Out of the pilot.
Yeah, because I remember in the intro to the show. With the gun. And I was like, when is he going to use that gun? That's so cool. I wanted to see it.
It's kind of cool that Richard Dean Anderson doesn't like guns either.
Oh, like personally?
Well, yeah, personally.
Oh.
He didn't. He wasn't a fan of him, so it was cool that he was playing a character that didn't do that. Here's one of my favorite. This is the last little one of these I'll give, but it says, Richard Dean Anderson botched his own MacGyver moment. When Anderson was once locked out of his house, he found a way inside. The actor had gone to a cast and crew holiday party during the first season, but wasn't having much fun, so he and a friend moved to a gathering for cheers instead.
I like that.
When Anderson made it home, he couldn't get in. Relating the story to a TV Guide reporter, Anderson thought the most efficient solution was to pick a nearby bench and throw it through the front window.
That's his MacGyver solution?
A friend later sent him a new bench. It had the symbol of a Swiss Army, or it had the Swiss Army symbol on it.
That's pretty creative.
It is. But what I would love is if you're Richard Dean Anderson and you're MacGyver on television, if you have to call a locksmith, how embarrassing is that? Like this locksmith could live off being able to tell people, yeah, I out MacGyvered MacGyver.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
that is good.
I love that he's like, you know how I'm going to get in my house? You see that? I'm going to throw that through my window.
Yeah, that's man, makes me sad a little bit. But that's pretty, I mean, was he drunk? I'm assuming he was drunk.
Oh, buddy,
you got to know.
I don't know. I have no
So
clue.
did he popularize Swiss Army knives? Like, I don't remember. I remember them as a child. Like, a real Swiss Army knife was expensive. They still are not cheap, like the real good ones. But do you remember like kids getting those and bringing them to school?
I do. Yeah.
Like, well, that's back in the day when you could do that.
I was jealous of my friends because my parents wouldn't let me have a knife.
Uh-huh.
But
I had a knife.
Probably for good reason.
I had a knife. You know what it was?
What?
It was like a dull steak knife.
Nice.
That was in a camper. I was like, here's my knife. And we had a camper that just had a dull steak knife in it. But yeah, I remember kids bringing those to school or taking them to soccer games and stuff. And, hey, look what my parents got me. You're like, oh, that's so cool. You're going to be able to do so much now. Oh, wow.
Buddy, so I'm looking up also what are some of the coolest things that he ever made.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So these are the 12 coolest. I'm only gonna give you the top.
I don't have time for 12, Nick. I have time for maybe 3, and they better be the good ones.
We're
5.
going
I got time for 5 now.
I'm going up to the top 5. I will meet you halfway, sir, and say 5.
Okay.
All right. He used jumper cables, a generator, 50 cents in quarters, and what do you think he made out of all of that? No, wait.
Hold on. Oh, is that it?
No, that's all the things he used.
Hold on. I like this game. I like this game a lot. Say it again.
We may make this a can you guess what MacGyver made?
So jumper cables.
He had jumper cables,
okay.
a generator, and 50 cents in quarters.
Electrolysis machine.
No, I'm going to give you.
Oh, I thought I had it dead on.
This is an episode called Trumbo's World. It's season 1, episode 6.
Season 1, okay.
This is something he used. He needed to attach something.
A welder, welding machine.
He made an arc welder.
Electrolysis machine, same thing.
All right. He used satellite parts and a plastic shield.
Hold on. He used satellite parts.
They're just lying around.
No, just the normal everyday satellite that's on the street there. And what plastic parts?
And a plastic shield. Now let me set this up for you. This is in
like
the episode
a toy?
Yes.
Okay.
This is in the episode To Be a Man. He's
Man.
surrounded atop a mountain in Afghanistan.
He made a communication device.
No. He must make his escape from atop this mountain.
Okay.
He must find a way down.
Oh, like a bobsled or some sort of sled?
Think in the air.
No.
He made
glider?
Hang glider, sir.
BS. Oh, come on. How big of a shield was this?
Buddy, it was enough to hold him, I guess.
A plastic shield and
surrounded atop
part.
this mountain. He must make his escape by quickly fashioning a glider out of a down satellite. This is, admittedly, they said this is one of the harder ones to swallow.
Yep.
All right. So, blood pressure pump and alarm clock.
A blood pressure.
This is called Slow Death. He's stuck aboard a hijacked train in India.
India.
He has to clear up a situation. And he must use the thing he is making to identify the British businessman who sold a village poison instead of medicine. What did he make?
Okay, it's a blood pressure
pump.
A blood pressure pump. Is that like the thing you put around your arm and
the pump?
Just the pump part. Just
the pump part.
The ball part.
Yeah.
And a clock.
And an alarm clock. Yes.
And an alarm clock. Like, is this a digital or is this a analog alarm clock?
It looks like an analog alarm clock.
A what? An antelope?
An antelope alarm clock. A Mickey alarm clock. But no, it's the actual arm. It looks like it's the actual...
The cuff?
The cuff, yes.
Oh, it's that changes everything.
Yes.
I have that knocks out like 12 ideas I had and adds another 36 ideas.
If you're trying to get down to the truth of something, what do you
mean?
Lie
detector.
Lie detector.
A clock? Okay.
Buddy,
okay.
Don't
got wires in it.
Don't question the man.
A kid got
what I love is he's probably on the train looking around. He's like, anybody got an alarm clock?
Yeah.
I just need an alarm clock. Okay, and this one. Oh, this is a good one, my friend.
Oh, I can't wait. I hope there's a satellite involved.
This is simply in an episode called Escape. It says, after finishing up soccer practice at a North African Catholic orphanage. Man, this man got around. Let me just say.
Was he doing soccer practice?
Apparently, yes.
Okay.
Mac must break a framed missionary from prison.
Okay.
Framed.
Okay.
Let's see. Nope, that's as far as I can go with that description. But he must break a framed missionary from prison.
Okay.
He used a ball, kerosene, newspaper, and cotton.
Did he make a bomb?
No.
He made like a wall breach?
No.
Okay. Kerosene, a ball.
Kerosene, a ball, newspaper, and cotton.
Now the ball, I'm assuming, is a soccer ball because you said soccer earlier. Kerosene, a ball,
newspaper,
and cotton.
I'm guessing from what I'm seeing here, it is probably something.
Hold on, give me a second, Nick.
Okay.
You pressured me. You're not giving me any time. I'm not MacGyver. Gosh.
You wish.
Let's see. Torture device. How to breathe underwater.
No.
I'm sure he made scuba.
Air once again.
Air?
It's going up in the air.
A balloon?
Hot air balloon. That is correct.
A hot air balloon.
Not a large one. Kind of a small one. I'm guessing to bring small things over to this missionary.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Final one.
I've done awful.
Well, buddy, not everyone's MacGyver. Not everybody can take all these items and go, you know what I can fashion out of that? Hot air balloon.
Hot air balloon.
Or
a steak.
Or a little farther off, hang glider.
I know.
All right, here we go. Buddy, this could be a fun game.
It's like, I found a satellite, but if only I had a plastic shield.
Look what I found, plastic shield.
It's like, oh, nice.
All right.
Last one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He has a magnifying glass. Well, hang on. I got to decide which one. I got.
Oh yeah, you got. So I could play this game all night, but we don't have that much longer.
Let's see here. Okay, I've got one that I'm going to give you here.
All right. I'm listening. Come on, bring it.
Hang on. All right. This one is a muffler,
Okay. Whoa.
a gear shift knob, seat cushion stuffing, and a cigarette lighter.
A rocket.
Wow, sir. It is a bazooka.
A bazooka. Okay.
But, I mean, same thing. In the midst of a bumpy car chase, Mac fashions a bazooka.
Wow.
Or, as he calls it, a homemade mortar from car parts. He shoots the vintage car shifter into a pool ball right into the radiator of the pursuit vehicle. Of course, he would know a way to fix that, too.
Of course he would. Oh, he would take a soda can and some straws and make a new one.
Well, he uses just about anything in his arsenal to solve a problem. My friend MacGyver was amazing.
It's amazing.
He is amazing. I hear they're going to do a movie starring Keanu Reeves as MacGyver.
That sounds amazing.
They should. Sci-fi, make it happen. But this was a fun show. It was a show I enjoyed. It did have, I don't know if you ever saw the made-for-TV movies. There were some made-for-TV movies that kind of after the series had its run.
Yeah.
They had like the Lost City of Atlantis one. And then there was...
Didn't he produce those, or wasn't he... He was more involved with those than just acting, I think.
Yeah, I do believe you're right. Let's see. In 1994, the series released was in 70...
Yeah, he produced MacGyver, Lost Treasure of Atlantis, MacGyver, Trail of Doomsday. That's a weird name. Trail to Doomsday.
He was the executive producer on both.
Yeah. And some other lesser known, Stargate SG-1. I don't know what Firehouse is. He did those. He's an executive producer on those as well. Wow. He's a composer. He composed the TV. What is this? The Negotiator.
Buddy,
I do Leo in episode in The Negotiator. Wow. TV series. What? I'm just baffled. I didn't know Richard Dean Anderson was a composer.
Well, my friend, this show ended. What year did this show end? Do you know?
7 years. 91 or 2?
1991.
91. Okay.
Let's see. It was the lead-in show to ABC's Monday Night Football during its 6-year run. And then it was replaced with a little show called The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, which is one I enjoyed.
I like The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
But it never got the popularity or the following that MacGyver really did, so it didn't last.
Yeah, that makes sense. I remember that MacGyver was before Monday Night Football. Was it Monday Night Football? That's all they had back then. They don't have Thursday and Sunday. Well,
but this was a show. Let me just say this, and we'll wrap this up. But this was a show that had, it had a huge impact.
It did.
It was one that, people came up with MacGyverisms all the time.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Well, I'm going to take this piece of gum.
Well, I'm going to MacGyver this." Saying, "I'm going to MacGyver this,"
and it's still a saying today.
We MacGyver every podcast.
Well, we just MacGyvered the heck out of this podcast.
That's right. It's meta.
But MythBusters did a special MacGyver's episode where they went up against a lot of his things and tested several of MacGyver's tactics. It obviously it's been mimicked in Saturday Night Live a bunch of times.
MacGruber, yeah, we talked about
MacGruber, but there's been some other times they've done like little send-ups of it.
Hold on. Who is the predecessor to MacGyver? There is. It's an animated character that is the predecessor to MacGyver.
Oh.
A-Team. No, she's worshipped in a small cult in Russia.
Oh, Gadget?
Gadget!
Well, yeah, she was the follow-up to MacGyver.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
I agree. MacGyver has a few things to learn from Gadget.
How to get a cult?
How to get a cult, how to make things for a team, because he was just a single guy.
Yeah, he was.
He was part of that. I didn't mention it, but he was part of that organization. Do you remember the name of that organization?
Is it the same one that the pole position racer parents worked for?
I believe so, yes.
What do you have the name of it?
I actually
Can't find it.
Do not actually.
Speaking of the new MacGyver, there's a current MacGyver series going on right at this very moment.
Phoenix Foundation. Sorry.
Oh, that's a cool name. I like that. We're the Phoenix Foundation now. We just stole that. We MacGyvered that name. We're the Phoenix Foundation Prime. But the new MacGyver series. Have you watched any of those episodes?
I have not, because it looks like a train wreck on wheels.
Oh yeah, I kind of looked over it. I think on IMDb it has like a 4.9 out of 10 on. It looks. The word I would say is bad. It just looks real
great.
It has
great.
George
Eads,
yeah,
from
CSI in it. But it just doesn't look good at all. But it's still rolling. It got 2 seasons, and there's no end date on the IMDb thing.
You know, that's the thing, is they probably gave it a second season because the first MacGyver season wasn't well received.
Oh.
MacGyver apparently didn't really pick up until its second season, where it gained traction.
The next episode to air is called Duct Tape plus Jack.
And you know what that makes?
What?
A human cyborg.
I thought you were going to say a human centipede.
No, that's an entirely different thing. But before we close, I'm going to give a reading of the background.
Dramatic reading from Nick.
I don't know, really dramatic. I just want to kind of give. You know what? I will.
You're the most dramatic person I know.
The show follows secret agent Angus MacGyver, played by Richard Dean Anderson, who works as a troubleshooter for the fictional Phoenix Foundation in Los Angeles and as an agent for the fictional United States government agency, the Department of External Services, DXS.
Ooh, got an X in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
DMX being the rapper who later took this from this show. That is not true. Educated as a scientist in physics at Western Tech.
Ooh.
Hell Week is in parentheses. I guess they found that in the episode Hell Week. MacGyver served in the U.S. Army Special Forces as a bomb team technician in EOD during the Vietnam War. Resourceful and possessing an encyclopedic knowledge of the physical sciences, he solves complex problems by making things out of ordinary objects, along with his ever-present Swiss Army knife, duct tape, and occasionally matches. He favors non-violent resolution and prefers not to handle a gun due to gun death of one of his friends in his teenage years.
Wow.
That is the MacGyver we know and love. And my friends who are listening out in this world, that is all we have time for today.
So MacGyver has a degree in physics, and he became a bomb disarming technician. Okay.
It tracks.
Somehow. All right.
Well, Eric,
what?
Thanks to you having a business degree, you too, sir, can become a bomb technician.
Apparently. It didn't take a lot.
And speaking of bomb.com, tell them where they can find us.
Well, Nick, you can find Richard Dean Anderson at rdanderson.com. I just want to throw that out there. I want everyone to experience the website that is rdanderson.com.
No, wait a minute. Is there a button up there that I see called live chat? Can you live chat with Richard Dean Anderson?
This is this is what the page is. This is a place for fans of Richard Dean Anderson to meet and chat in real time. Well, let's see. Nickname.
MacGyver.
PUC. Okay.
We'll have to do this on our own time. Eric, where can
There's so many people here. Oh my goodness. Okay, you can find us. You can find us in the chat room of Richard Dean Anderson.
Wait a second. If we were to type something, we're seriously the only ones in here, but if we were to type something, would his computer go haywire? He's like, I got one.
I love you, RDA.
Let's see if he gets back to us. Just leave it up for we'll leave it up for the remainder of till Saturday,
Okay.
And
You want me
we'll
to just
see
leave
if-
it going?
Yeah, we'll see if he ever responds.
Okay, you can find us all over the internet. You can find us Pulpit Chair Podcast on Facebook, YouTube. Where else?
Oh, they can pull it. They can actually go to
iTunes.
our own website.
Well, no, I'm trying to think of the place where
iTunes, Stitcher, Zune,
Zoom,
Angel,
Podbean.
Angel, Microsoft,
Angel
Zoonifier,
We actually we were looking at
McDonald's
statistics.
Radio,
Apparently, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
MacGyver Radio, Richard Dean Anderson's website.
You can find us all over this web. Our personal website is puckpodcast.website, pucpodcast.website.
Why website?
Why not website? Because we MacGyvered it.
All right, everybody. We thank you for listening. We have enjoyed this. We hope that you did too, that you learned a little something about MacGyver. And we want to thank you for listening, taking the time out of your day just to, take a listen of our show, download us. And if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Tell us how we're doing. Leave us a comment. Share it with a friend. Tell your friends about us.
If you listen to this in the next week, this will be out on Monday. I will try to leave this screen up an entire week until the next time you get back,
and we will
see if anybody, somebody else go to rdanderson.com and click on live chat and go in and leave a comment at rdanderson.com.
Let's flood Richard Dean Anderson's little live chat with people. Let him get in there and see that people are still thinking about him.
That we love you, RDA.
We do love you, RDA. All right, my friends, please like and subscribe. Tell a friend. And Eric, is there anything else you want to say?
We love you, RDA.
Way to MacGyver that comment.
Thanks.
All right, you all have yourself a MacGyver day, and God bless.
Bye.